Hello, fellow Ontarians. Our government wants to know what we think about the future of sex ed in our province. So let's tell them. Hi, I'm Nadine Thornhill, sexuality educator. Welcome to Save Sex Ed, the series where I teach every sex education module from Ontario's 2015 Health and Phys Ed curriculum, except not today. Today, I'm going to do something a little bit different, but before I tell you what that is, just take a second and click the subscribe button that is down below the screen. And while you are down there, also click the bell. That way you will be notified every time I upload a new video. When the Ontario Conservatives came into power earlier this year, they announced that they would be repealing the sex ed portions of the Health and Phys Ed curriculum. The reason they said they were doing this is because they felt that there had been insufficient parental consultation when the 2015 curriculum was created. Now, that seems weird to me because that curriculum had the largest parent consultation of any curriculum in Ontario's history. But the Conservatives, in their own words, felt that parents were not respected, and they want a new consultation that will let parents feel respected. And so as part of that consultation, they have released a survey or a questionnaire, if you will. Hasn't been widely publicized. That also seems weird because if you want this super large consultation, you got to tell people how to make their voices heard. But it's here. It is available, and so today I am going to fill out the questionnaire and I'm going to bring you along for the journey. So if you are looking for this questionnaire, it can be found on the Ontario government's main website, and I will have a link for it down below in the description box. So, consultation, education in Ontario. And so according to this is a consultation for not only parents, but students, educators, interested individuals, or organizations to provide feedback on the education system in Ontario. So here's a little bit about their goal: preparing students for success, improve their academic achievement, equip them with the tools needed to enter the working world. Don't really have any problem with that. Consultation closing date is December 15th, 2018. Now, apparently, this is just a preliminary questionnaire. There's going to be more stuff coming. So I don't know if this means that the closing date to submit this is December 15th or the closing date for the entire consultation is December 15th. Anyway, about the consultation, we're consulting with parents across the province to address concerns and get feedback in several areas of the education system. And here are the 7 areas where they are requesting feedback. This is a lot of information. If they're trying to presumably survey, thousands and thousands of Ontarians, I don't know how they are going to synthesize all of this information and then write an entire new component of the curriculum by next fall, which they claim they're going to do, so we'll see. Okay, so I am just, for the purposes of this video, going to fill out the health and physical education curriculum bit. That's obviously my area of expertise. It's what I feel most passionately about, and it's why we are here. So, if you click on this link, it will actually bring you to the Ministry of Education's page where you can see, or you can click on a link to get a copy of the interim Health and Phys Ed curriculum. It's the curriculum that teachers are supposed to be using this year while the 2015 curriculum has been pulled. But for now, let's go back to the consultation. How to participate. There are 3 ways to participate. So there's the open submission, available now, online survey, coming soon, telephone town hall, coming soon. So there is one way to participate, and it's the open submission. Open submission, education in Ontario. Please share your thoughts on all or some of our consultation themes, yada yada, closing date, December 15th, 2018. Okay, there's a privacy statement. Read that off camera. You can click on it and read it for yourself. Okay, so first tell us about yourself. Are you a, select all that apply, parent or guardian? Yes. Adult with no children? Nope. Student attending an elementary or secondary school? Nope. Educator, early childhood educator, principal, vice principal? Yes. Employer? No. Other, well, yes, but not anything that's relevant to the survey. Are you a parent with school-age children? Yes. How many of the children in your home are in each grade range? I'm going to go back and answer that later because that is information about my kid, and so I'm going to keep that private. What type are your children currently enrolled in? Also going to keep that private. I'll answer that later. Does your child have special needs or accessibility requirements? Later. Are you a student currently attending an elementary or a secondary school? No. What are the first 3 characters of your postal code? Not gonna answer that now either because I don't want you to know where I live. Okay, if you are a member of a stakeholder group interested in Ontario's education system, please describe maximum 500 words. Okay. I have worked as a sexuality educator for the last 12 years. I hold a doctorate in education with a concentration in child and adolescent sexuality. I have developed programming and educational content based on both the 1998 and 2015 health and physical education curricula. The plural of curriculum is curricula. Grammar. I realize it's probably excruciating for you to sit here and watch me type out my answers, so I just took a break and I filled in the rest of my answers off camera, so we're just gonna show you what I said. So these are other questions that I haven't answered because they're not related to sex ed. I may go back and answer some of those later. But here, okay. How can we build a new age-appropriate health and physical education curriculum that includes subjects like mental health, sexual health education, and the legalization of cannabis? Maximum 500 words. All right, so what I said was, the health and physical education curriculum aligns with best practices for developmentally appropriated sex education as outlined by organizations such as the World Health Organization, UNESCO, and UNICEF. Using the 2015 curriculum as a foundation with updated information related to the recent legalization of cannabis, developed in consultation with experts in substance use abuse, would be ideal. Basically, use the curriculum you had. It was fine. Add in information about cannabis. Good to go. You're making so much work for yourself that you don't need to, Ontario government. What elements should be included in a Ministry of Education Parents' Bill of Rights? I did decide to fill out this one because I actually think that there are some rights that parents should have, but I also think that there are some rights that we shouldn't have as parents. So the rights I think we should have include free access to all Ontario curricula. Documents should be available in both digital and hard copy, with translated versions available by request. I'm going to add in any language because parents need to be able to read this thing. And in a format that is accessible to the visually impaired. So yeah, I think if you are a parent or caregiver, you should be able to see the curricula anytime you want to. Number 2, the right to transparency from their child's teachers, including the right to information about lesson plans, etc. So I think that as a parent or a caregiver, you have the right to communicate with your child's teacher and say like, hey, what are you teaching this year, or what are you teaching in this unit, and how are you teaching it? Yeah, I have a right to know. What I don't think you have a right to as a parent, though, is I don't think that you have a right to say, you're not allowed to teach this, or I want some input into what you are teaching in your class. We're not teachers. That's not our job, and we wouldn't like it if, the general public was allowed to come in and tell us how to do our work. So yeah, I think you're allowed to know. I don't think you can go in and start dictating to the teacher what they can and can't do in their class. Number 3, the right to discuss any concerns, questions, or complaint with school staff, administrators, trustees, or board. So yeah, I think you should have access to all of the people who are involved in implementing and developing and administering education in this province, because it directly affects your kid. Okay. Number 4, the right to remove their child from class. I know that this one is controversial, but honestly, I just don't see how you can regulate or mandate that a parent send their child to school. Not just around wanting to pull them out of a specific lesson, but like, how do you know? Maybe they're sick. Maybe they have a dentist appointment. Maybe there's a family thing. And I'm not actually comfortable with the idea that the school can say to me, you have to have your child in class no matter what. That having been said, I do not think that schools should be obligated to provide alternative education or alternative programming for children who are being pulled out of a class because the parents object to the content. At that point, I think it is the parent or the caregiver's responsibility, and you need to take your child home for that day. And number 5, I think that parents and caregivers should have the right to opt out of public education and enroll their children in comparable private or homeschool programs. Some critics of sex ed in Ontario have said that it promotes certain values, and I think that that is actually accurate. This is not a value-neutral curriculum. I don't think that there's any such thing, The whole health and phys ed curriculum reflects certain values. The other curriculum reflects certain values. And so I think if the values that are being supported in the public system do not align with your family's values, and that if that is, a deal breaker for you, I do think that you should have the right to opt out of that public system and enroll your children in a comparable system that better reflects your values. I do think it is appropriate that curricula designed for use in Ontario public schools represent Ontario's larger, more general social values. One of the human rights that we recognize in this province is the inherent humanity of people who do not identify with the gender that they were assigned at birth, and people who do not experience heterosexual, attraction, romance, relationships. And so that is why I think it is entirely appropriate to have a curriculum that acknowledges the existence of gender and sexually diverse people, which is all that it does. Actually, before I click submit, I am going to screenshot my responses. The reason I'm doing this is straight up, I don't trust this administration, and I do not think they are embarking on this consultation process in good faith. So I want to capture my answers just in case they release results of the consultation that seem suspect. And I encourage you to do the same. I just want to have proof of what my answers were. Now I'm ready to submit. Submit. All right, thank you. For more feedback, visit fortheparents.ca again soon for more ways to engage. So that is my submission for the Ontario Education Consultation, and we will see what happens next. I'm actually really curious to see this telephone town hall. I don't even know what that is or how that's going to work. But when it becomes available, you can bet that I will be there, on my phone, making my voice heard. which tells you how passionate I am about this because I hate talking on the phone to anybody, but I will do it to Safe Sex Ed. In the comments below, let me know if you have had a chance to fill out this survey, this submission, whatever they're calling it. And if you want to share what some of your responses were, I would love to hear them. That's all for now. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye. You can help me continue creating free sex ed content by supporting me on Patreon. For as little as $3 a month, you'll get access to all sorts of goodies, so head on over to patreon.com/Nadine Thornhill or click the link down in the description below.